I'm actually the three of us are very excited about this. And when the 5th anniversary planning committee was set up, several task teams were set up, and one was the indicators task team that was led by Bumi Lawson as team lead. And that team has done incredible work. Thank you, Bumi. Thank you. When you see a dream come true, you cannot but salute those who have put in the hard work. And what we're hoping that this is not just for Nigeria. That's why we're happy to see the Kenyans here. We were determined that you will come. And the Ghanaians as well, and the Senegalese, the pioneers. It's important that this cuts across the continent. We've got to start measuring our political leaders. So now, we are raising a new political class, disruptive thinkers, yes, values-driven, with the 3 C's. You can't come to SPPG and not know about the 3 C's. You can't come and not know our mantra. So what we're going to do over the next 5 years, in the coming years, is to measure in very intentional way. And we're starting, I wish this was also in front of me. I'm going to sort of have to keep turning my head. The first is what we already do, the SPPG graduate count. How many? Total number of leaders trained by the School of Politics, Policy, and Governance. And what we're going to do is that with annual graduation numbers, by tomorrow, we're going to have 974 graduates from the SPPG. Just under 1,000. In the next, what's our goal for the next 5 years? We have some. When Dr. Obi talks about these goals, I look at her. I'm tempted to sort of, I'm thinking, who is she talking to? But honestly, it's amazing because you see the manifestation. You know, when you have bold, audacious, how many of you know about BHAGs? Bold, audacious, hairy, audacious goals. What it does is that it keeps you going, it motivates you, and you keep running tirelessly. So thank you, sis. Thank you. So we are 974. I'm excited about tomorrow. And then 45 in Senegal. And they're going to start applying for the second cohort. So the journey has started. The train has left the station. The next one is the SPPG political contestant count. The number of SPPG alumni, graduates who contest for political office, because there's no point going through our school and not running for office. We want to see you. And what was for us amazing, our last elections, we thought, okay, maybe 10 of our students will run. Maybe 20 will be happy, run for primaries. 55 of them boldly stepped out. We were surprised, because that was the second cohort, third cohort was still there. Yes, so we had only just graduated 2 cohorts, and 55 of them ran primaries. But what it taught us, right, was that the political system is more broken than we realize. Because out of the 55, only 16 of them got through, and all sorts of shenanigans happened. That's not why we're here today. We all know, because we're all Africans, what happens. And that's when we knew that we needed to truly not just fix politics, but use data, science, not emotions, to fix politics. So tracking this number is critical for us. And Kenya, we're looking forward to how many of you for the next elections you're going to have, right? So like I mentioned, who contest for political office. The next indicator is those who are appointed. So there are people who see them, they look different, they sound different, and then they get appointed. And tomorrow you're going to see a video of those that have been appointed. So far, number of SPPG alumni who successfully hold political office, whether elected or appointed. And we have at least 19 appointed right now in Nigeria, from commissioners to special advisors to technical advisors to attorney general to accountant. People are there. The commissioner, I think there's one that is, I won't mention the state, that is the attorney general, and he just got an SAN, Senior Advocate of Nigeria, on Monday. You celebrated it. Where we're going is that between elections, get appointed and make a difference. And for those of you that are in the room that are within that 19, we're tracking your performance. So it's not that they made me commissioner. What have you done with it? What was the current situation when you got there? And what impact have you had in 4 years? And we want data. We want to see measurable outcomes. So we are tracking this. Just as we celebrate your appointment, we also want to celebrate your exit. Next slide. Then this is where it gets also quite interesting, the leadership development ecosystem. And here, we now want to just say the impact SPPG is having in the educational leadership space. Because we also know that we're not solo. We work collaboratively. And what is powerful about that, if you look at fixed politics, is that there are several organizations that have been a part of fixed politics, from Enough is Enough to Not Too Young to Run. We had Samson yesterday, Itodo, to Budget by Sheung. These are people, Futures Africa, these are people that are strong actors in the fixed politics movement. And so we're looking at saying, we want to define and measure the availability, diversity, and accessibility of leadership development programs that intentionally cultivate values-based, competent leaders. So we are not just saying we are teaching you, giving you information, training you, but are you impacting the values? Now, we're going to work on something that I'm hoping we'll work on and get it right. The journey of transformation that happens to many of our students. And I think those of you can testify to it. Those of you that sat right through the 10 months, you're not the same today. Can we say that? How many of you are saying yes? Don't say yes if you don't mean it. I'm not asking. We're not looking. You will graduate tomorrow if you don't say yes. Yes, you will still graduate. But I can see the impact. There's one of them who wrote manifestos. The quality of the manifestos. As I listen to them, I'm thinking, I will vote for you. And we're just amazed. And I sit in class sometimes, and I get teary-eyed, and I'm thinking, this was just an experiment. It's still an experiment. But look at the transformative power of this experiment. Africa truly is waiting for you. And we're building a platform that nation builders can stand on, be held accountable, and have impact. So, the scoring method, we're looking at the number of recognized, accredited or recognized leadership and governance development programs active in Nigeria, active in Kenya, and active in Senegal, depending on the country. So we're looking at SPPG, we're looking at NGOs, donor-funded, ratio of participants to national population. We talked about this, and we think we're going to tweak it a bit. So if you don't, forgive us, but in the sense that we want to know the number of participants to leadership programs. I think we defined it.
Yeah. Those in political office.
Those in political, rather than the national population, because if we compare, the percentage is going to be so insignificant. But if you define it and you measure it against the positions for political office, there are about 9 to 10,000 political offices. You want to measure how many of our graduates, how many of those who have gone to other leadership programs actually occupy those positions. Then that percentage is more significant. So that's what we're going to do. And the evidence of gender and youth representation in these programs, that is important. And the last emphasis is, if you read that, including secondary school level, what we're doing in the next 5 years is that we're also, I don't know why I keep putting 5 years. I'm not sure. The next 15 years is that we're a secondary school SPPG. So we're not waiting till you become 25 or 35. We're going to the schools. And we had quite a number of our students, capstone project that developed leadership programs in different schools. So we pulled them all together and say, design secondary school SPPG. And they did amazing. So we are going to launch that in the next 12 months. And also what we're going to launch is what we call community SPPG, and that's working with WSG1, people, influencers, people who have gravitas, whether young or old, at the community level, and we want to be able to train them for greater impact. Next slide, and I hope this is the last one.
Yes,
somehow, I hope so. It is. Thank you very much.